Hi guys, welcome to my first YouTube video. I've been going back and forth for a while, deciding whether or not I should start a YouTube channel, but it's something that I've always wanted to do, but I didn't know if anyone would be interested in watching. But I thought if there was just one person that I could kind of motivate or inspire or even just get out some information to through doing the videos, or if I can just, inspire, motivate even just one person, that it'll be worth doing this. So here I am. And for my first video, which is this one, I thought that I'll just talk about my journey of how I got here, or like my journey so far. So I think like most people, it obviously started through just scrolling through Instagram one day, seeing all these competitors. I think back then I was following people, who did I used to follow? Michelle Lewin, Jessica Alvaro, and it's a bunch of competitors at the time, Natalia. They're not currently competing. I think Jessica will be competing soon. But yeah, so just a bunch of them on Instagram, and just got kind of inspired and just, thought about the idea of competing, but didn't know whether I could do it, didn't know whether I wanted to do it, if I could even get lean, will I ever get abs, don't know if I'll ever look remotely close to those Instagram girls. And then my partner started competing, and I went with him to my first IFBB show. I watched all the girls, was super inspired, and just felt really motivated. And so I told myself, you know what, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'm gonna do this, no matter what happens. At least I would have tried, and I would be able to at least know how I would look if I actually tried to, come in stage lean, and if I'd ever be able to achieve my goals of looking like those Instagram girls. So I started. I hired a coach. My coach was Summer Bernard at the time. And I did my first competition about 5 months after I watched the first IFBB show. So I really looked up to a lot of the IFBB athletes. However, I didn't feel that my body was there yet. I didn't really have that much muscle mass. So I opted to go for one of the smaller shows. I competed in IMBA, May 2015, and that was my first ever competition. I had a good prep. I came in really lean, and I gave it everything, and I came 5th in my first competition, which was fine. It was good to come out with the placing. First time I've ever competed, but I was a little bit disappointed with that placing. I went on to do a show 2 weeks later, NABA show, and in my opinion, I thought I prefer my look compared to the girls who placed and won. And I just had to rethink everything that I was doing, and I realized that I was aiming for IFBB bikini look, that kind of hardness, sharpness, which the other two federations that I competed in, they were just looking for, like nice, flowy, feminine bikini beach body. At the time, I didn't have much muscle on me either, so I just kind of look skinny, lean. Most people probably would think I look pretty alright, but I just wasn't happy with how I looked. So I decided that I would try harder, not give up, and definitely try to get myself in the best possible shape, put on as much muscle, and again, come in lean how I like to come in, and compete in my first IFBB show. So I did my first IFBB show in March 2016. So a year later, I stacked on about 2 kilos of lean muscle. So on show day, I weighed myself, and I was 2 kilos heavier. The following year, just before my IFBB show, I was stoked to be able to put on that kind of muscle. I looked totally different. I still felt small and unsure as to whether I looked like I would even fit in on the IFBB stage, but it was a dream of mine. I always looked up to the IFBB girls, so I had no idea what I was doing when I tried another federation. I guess you never know until you try. I didn't follow any of the girls who were in those federations. Even my coach, like Summer, she's an IFBB pro, and so all the people I looked up to and wanted to look like was obviously of a different kind of like look that they were going for and stuff. So I'm like, I need to make the switch to IFBB. If not now, I don't know when. So I decided to do it, got up on stage. I came in 5th at the state show, so I missed out on the top 3 placings, so I didn't get a placing at the state show. But that was fine. I was quite shocked that I came top, like that I placed 5th, which I found out only after when I talked to the judges and stuff. So obviously on the day I just knew that I didn't place. It was a little bit sad. Found out a little bit later that I came 5th, so I wasn't that far off. There was about 20 girls, I would say, in my division. I competed in the junior division. The girl who won my class went on to win overalls, and she looked amazing, and they had way more muscle than me, and I just knew that, I have to put on even more size now. Still felt super small, but good to know that I wasn't that far off from my goal. So I had another week to keep training, and then we went to the Arnolds, and I competed at the Arnolds as a novice in the novice short class. And so they do it by elimination at the Arnolds. So there's, again, over 20 girls. They'll cut it to top 10. I made top 10, and I was like, oh my God. And then from there, cut it back down, and I made top 5. And I was like, you know what, like I was, and they would place the top 5 at the Arnolds. So I knew that I would have got a placing, and I was stoked. Actually, no, sorry, it was top 6. Top 6 get a placing at the Arnolds at the time. So I was like, making the top 6, I was stoked. I was on stage, I was so happy. It was the happiest moment of my competing career when I made top 6 at the Arnolds. And at that point, I didn't even care where I placed. I was just so stoked that I was in that top 6. And then they placed the 6th place, and they placed 5th place, and I came 4th. And I was so happy, so over the moon. I was just so shocked, just coming from not placing at States a week ago to coming on an international stage with even more girls, and actually coming 4th. Was really, really happy, but even more motivated to, keep improving and putting on even more muscle. Again, I was very, very happy with the conditioning I came in at. So my main goal was to put on even more muscle. So I took an off season, so I took season B off, and I think that was the hardest I've ever trained in my life. I really wanted it. I'm like, look, I really, the next time I step on stage, especially at the state show, I really want to win. And that was what I wanted. But at the same time, my priorities was just to improve myself. I just wanted to get better. If I can put on another kilo or 2 of muscle, I'd be stoked. I can look better, look closer to my ideal physique that I've always wanted to have. And I'd be super happy. So I just always felt very small in my upper body. So that off season, I worked really, really hard on my upper body. And I always was lacking in shoulders, and nice shoulders was something that I've always wanted. And in that off season, I finally achieved what I wanted to with my shoulders. And so came March 2017, my second IFBB state show. I competed in 2 classes. So I did the bikini intermediate, which is for everyone who has competed before but hasn't had a top 3 placing. So I did that. And I also decided to try my luck in the bikini open short. Now, the bikini open short was a really competitive class. I wouldn't say there was not a lot of people in terms of numbers, but all the girls who were competing in there, I'd followed for a long time. They'd won their classes before. They looked amazing. Way more experience in terms of doing well compared to me. So I really didn't have much confidence in myself. I was like, look, maybe if I can win the intermediate class, then I'd be happy. So I came second in intermediate, which was fine. It was my first placing at States. The thing is, I've always really wanted a trophy. So when I placed at the Arnold's, I got a medal, and I was like, look, okay, I'm gonna place top 3 at the next state show, and I'll get my trophy. I'll get that trophy that I want so bad. But that year they decided to only give trophies to first places, and then a second and third place would only get a medal. So when I came second in the intermediate, I was like, damn, if I came second last year, I would have gotten my trophy. But that's fine. I was happy with my silver medal. I came second, which was the first time I ever placed at state. And it was just good to just finally be noticed in my state. I do believe there's a lot of WA girls who look amazing, and the quality of our IFBB competitors are just top notch. Like, everyone is just on another level, in my opinion. So to be able to come second in the intermediate, I was pretty happy. And then, so I just went on, and then I went on stage for the second time for the bikini open short, just with an open mind, just wanting to have fun and enjoy myself. And when I got second in the open short class, I was stoked. Again, I was so happy, and so that was, I don't know if I was happier then or the Arnold's, but at the time, that was the happiest moment of my life, again, to be able to come second. So I came away with 2 silver medals. Again, I was happy that I came second, a little bit sad that I didn't come home with 2 silver trophies, which is what I wanted, but that was fine. And then another week of prepping, and we would go to Arnold's the following week. So I went to Arnold's, and this time at Arnold's, I decided to try for the open class and competed in the open class. Man, those girls, I thought WA girls were on another level. Like, when I went over East, everyone was just, especially in my class. So I competed against Julia, who is now IFBB Pro, Asha, who's now a WBFF Pro, and a bunch of other people that I followed for a long time. And when I saw them backstage, I was like, oh no, am I going to stand next to them? I'm going to look so tiny. So, my upper body kept up with everyone else. It was just my legs that were lagging this time, and I stood right next to Asha, who has amazing legs, and my legs just looked like chopsticks, and I was just like, oh god, back to the drawing board again. Just lacking a lot in the lower body area now, and now I have to work on bringing that up. So, but yeah, I made top 10 out of the 25, 26 girls. So, I'm not going to say I was pretty happy with it. I was not. I was wanting a top 5 placing at the Arnold so badly, especially after coming off the high of coming second at my state show. So making top 10, even though it's an achievement because it's the first time I've competed in an international open class, I was still a little bit upset. So back to the drawing board, and I was like, okay, what can I do to get my legs up? Because I wanted to compete again that same year in October. I didn't want to take an off season. I was going to compete the following season. So I was like, I'm going to have to put in a lot of work this time, even more. And I need to take a different approach. So I started powerlifting, and that's when I met my powerlifting coach. I followed people like Lauren Simpson and Hattie, who I feel they're a little bit like the ectomorphs like me, so it's harder for us to put on muscle, but they're fully into their strength training. They're super strong, especially Lauren, and that's pretty much what helped them grow their legs. So I was like, that's what I'm gonna do. So I started powerlifting, and I managed to grow my legs. I was happy, and then I did the October show that same year. Again, standards got up a little bit more. And I came second again, so I was just like, oh, but I was so happy with the physique that I brought. I finally looked the way that I've always wanted to look, and I finally felt like I have achieved that look that I wanted when I first started competing, and I finally look like that because my leg muscle was quite new. It didn't have the kind of muscle maturity and conditioning through them. So I always come in lean, but my legs just, they were lean, but not as much as my upper body. So my fat wasn't that evenly distributed. I get super lean up through my upper body and my back. So even though I managed to grow my glutes, my hamstrings, and my quads, just didn't have that conditioning through my legs. So that was what I was lacking, and I was determined to work on that. But for the first time, I didn't feel too small on stage. I felt like I held my own. I just always still feel like that skinny girl who hopped on that IMBA stage the first time. When I look at myself, sometimes I see something totally different. I just feel like I'm small and skinny, and I'm very short, and I just feel like everyone just, towers over me and just outsides me, and I'm just tiny and, just whatever. But yeah, for the first time when I competed that October in my state show, I really felt like, wow, like I belonged up there. I held my own. I'm not small. I still have areas that I have to work on, but I put on my the muscle that I had on my legs in a very short period of time. Like from March to October wasn't much time at all to put on the size and then cut down. So I was happy again that I managed to, I got stronger. I fell in love with powerlifting. I learned so much, and managed to put on some size on my legs. And you can't have everything, so the conditioning for my legs was not there. But like I said, I've truly felt one step closer to being where I want to finally be. I'm still chasing that trophy. I'm still chasing that win. I'm tired of coming in second. But still always grateful and happy to even get a placing, because it's not always guaranteed. You might be first or second, third one season, and the next season you just could have no placing at all, because maybe they're looking for something different. Depends on who shows up on the day, and it's very hard to say with these things. So yeah, so I guess that's what brought me here. And then